It's often believed that mastering the plié in the ballet technique class requires only a good piece of music. If you know the music, then obviously you're going to make a wonderful pianist for pliés. But that's not all. Hi everyone, Joe Chanchuli here at the Academy of Ballet Accompaniment. We are talking about the plié, and one secret that most pianists are not taught when they are learning how to play for the ballet technique class when it refers to, or when it pertains to, the plié, and that is tempo rubato. So I call this, or we call it within our curriculum, the tempo trap. So oftentimes new pianists will step into the room, they will start their class with either warm-up or pliés, and when they go to pliés, they start their piece of music and it probably fits wonderfully. They understand that there must be arpeggiation, consistency in the left hand. There must be a very simple melody in the right hand that's easy to hear, and it's divided into that square 8 the dancers want and they search for in their combinations. But something is missing, something happens. Now when they start the exercise, the teacher turns to them and says, slow down. And they slow down. And then the teacher turns back around and says, speed up a little bit, and then keeps going. And then all of a sudden, 3, 4, or 5 seconds later, the teacher says, slow down. The problem isn't necessarily the entire tempo of the piece of music. Oftentimes the pianist can internally feel what the tempo should be and what the dancers need, and it throws them off, it throws them into confusion when the teacher turns around feeling like this isn't working for the exercise. And the problem is not, like I said, it's not the piece of music most times. It's that the pianists oftentimes are not taught how tempo rubato can be used within a piece of music to mirror the dancer's movement. So for example, with the plié, okay, you take this example of the piece of music we're playing now. When dancers plié means to bend, right? So the dancers had their introduction and the preparation. 5, the arm goes out. 6, oftentimes 7, and then it goes to a position, yes? Now when they start their pliés, there has to be elongation as they go down because they're thinking of lengthening as they go down. They bend and they straighten. And they bend and they straighten. So if you had the piece of music like this and you start, the dancers will inherently feel like they're being rushed because they want that elongation and they're rushing to get back up. Elongation, and over time that compounds, and then they're late with the music. Dancers' goal is to dance in matrimony with the music, and the pianist's goal is to match the music to fit almost identically to what the dancers are doing with their movement. So how do we use tempo rubato? Well, how many pliés are there typically in one exercise? It's always organized in the same way, or most of the time organized in the same way. You have 2 demis and a grand. 2 demi and up. Demi and up. Or rubato and return. Rubato and return to the tempo. And then long descent. Yes, and again, a little bit of elongation while they then return. Yes, so that way of approaching the music would sound something like this. If they start right on the first note, they go and plié and return, plié and return, 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 plié and return, plié and plié and return. Yes, so when you approach the pliés, along with some other exercises that we'll talk about in the future, you must understand tempo rubato and how it's incorporated into the dancer's exercise. You must watch the dancers because there are times that the teacher really does want you to move the music a little more and get the dancers to be dancing a little bit more musical, but a little bit quicker. You know, you have some teachers that like a faster plié, a lot of teachers who like a slower plié. Some teachers that want you to watch the dancers and imitate what they're doing with your music. Others that want you to ignore the dancers because they think that they should be following you. So you have many different teachers you're going to play for, but it's kind of a running expectation that there should be this tempo rubato in certain exercises, in certain aspects to exercises, based on what the dancers are doing within the exercise. So if you have found this little mini exercise helpful and you want to dive deeper, you're interested in becoming a ballet pianist yourself, or looking at maybe some of the benefits of becoming a ballet pianist, just like I did when I was maybe 19, 20, 21, after I had already gone through university studies or had been in university studies for piano performance. If you're looking for a new career and you're just, kind of getting your feet wet in the ballet pianist, ballet pianist world, or maybe you're playing for a company or school and you want some insight or clarity on how to be better, how to climb the ladder to be a principal pianist, a concert pianist, an orchestral pianist, a company pianist, well, think about joining up for our online course. It is an online course, but it is more so an academy and community. So the way our courses are structured, you have a foundations or essentials course. Once you go through the essentials, which will cover the entire technique class, the music that could be fit, it includes a starter guide with music on how to or what to play for each exercise. Then you would join our community and you can be a little bit more involved with recording music for ballet class on your own without having to pay thousands of dollars for a recording studio. Learning more about opportunities in the field, deepening your education and your knowledge of the ballet technique class and the opportunities that exist within the ballet school and company setting. You can find all of that at www.academyofballetpiano.com.